What if I told you that Battlefield 5, along with many other games, have a hidden setting that can actually improve your aim? You don't believe me, do you? Well, the evidence is all there. Comparing my old aim to my current aim is pretty much like night and day, and at least some of the improvement can be credited to a setting that almost no one truly understands. Hello guys, my name is Silk, and today we are talking about a setting, but really a concept that many people, especially in the Battlefield community, just don't understand. We are talking about the Uniform Soldier Aiming Coefficient, which is otherwise known as the Monitor Distance Coefficient. Despite the confusion this topic often generates, it's not as complex as it would seem. I won't give away the settings I use yet, because there's no point using them if you don't understand them, but what I will say is that the 133% value that the game has by default makes next to no sense, and at the end of this video you'll understand how to properly leverage the most powerful aim related setting in the game, aside from maybe sensitivity. So to start with, I'm going to reference a video by mousesensitivity.com. As seen in the video, the green line represents the total distance of your monitor. The percentages are counted from the center of your crosshair, and using the Uniform Soldier Aiming Coefficient, you can calibrate your sensitivity so that one specific distance will feel 1-to-1 with your hipfire aim. In this video, they are demonstrating a 25% monitor distance or Uniform Soldier Aiming setting. As you can see, while 25% lines up on both the top and the bottom images, the rest of the markings are thrown way out of whack. This is the key thing you need to observe here. While one flick distance will feel exactly the same between both the sensitivities, you can only calibrate it for one specific distance. That is the problem with this setting, and that's what I'm going to solve in this video. So this is how the Battlefield 5 default setting works, which is 133%. So here is an image I prepared earlier, which demonstrates exactly what the default setting does. So as seen in the image, the distance from the center of the crosshair to either edge of the screen is 100%. And the default setting of 133% calibrates your aim down sight sensitivity to make a flick that is 133% of your monitor to feel 1-to-1. So this exact flick distance will feel really good, but just as it did with the example in CSGO, the rest of the markings and flick distances will be offset. It is known that the value was actually chosen because it's the same as CSGO's 133% value, which does actually make some sense in that game. If you've ever AWP'd before, you'll know that a 133% flick isn't actually that uncommon, and that the game requires very little tracking. But in COD and Battlefield, especially playing at these high FOVs, you almost never make a 133% flick, so why would you calibrate for it? I really like the explanation provided by Drimzy, who is not only one of the most knowledgeable people on the math that surrounds aiming, but he's also an absolutely insane aimer. To paraphrase him here, running values such as 133% give you the illusion of more consistent aim, because they can make you very proficient at a very specific aiming style, such as large flicks with 100% coefficient or 133. They also let you get away with running very low sensitivity at a high FOV, which is just a shortcut to improving your mechanical skill in the end. What Drimzy in the math recommends is the value of 0%, which is what I run in game, and it's not only me and Drimzy that would recommend this value. Probably the most insane aimer in Call of Duty right now, in my opinion, is MP Control Ward. He uses a 0% value, and as you can see in the clips, not only does the math check out, but his aim is absolutely fucking ridiculous, and it's not just him that uses the value either. Arguably the best aimer in the world, and probably the best aimer in Overwatch easily, is Sayaplayer, and he uses this value for his Ashe and Widowmaker sensitivities. A lot of the other top Overwatch players are also using this value, and I expect that with time, as more people understand how it works, 0% monitor distance will become the more accepted value. Okay, so now that you know how the setting works, I'm happy to show you how to set it in game. There's no config stuff here, it's just in the menu. So you want to go to options, go controls, and in here we want to just make sure that this is set to 100, the soldier zoom aim sensitivity, and everything else here should be fine. Now in advanced, you want to turn uniform soldier aiming on. I don't have any of the stick settings set to anything because I don't use sticks, I'm on mouse and keyboard. And if you're on console, this doesn't really apply to you, to be honest. You could try these settings on console, but it's more for mouse aiming. So, yep, set uniform soldier aiming on, coefficient to 0, and you can do it in the vehicles as well, but again, I don't think it works as well in the vehicles just because of how turret turn speed works. In Battlefield 6, if the vehicles have really fast turning turrets, I think this would be good again, but for Battlefield 5, it doesn't really matter too much. Now you want to scroll back down and make sure these are all at 100. Plain ones should be at 150. Of course, I covered that in another video, and this is just stick stuff, so it doesn't matter. This is all default, I think. Anyways, that's going to be it. If you want to use something that isn't 0%, at least you know how to use it now. Let's say if I wanted to flick half of my monitor distance, I could set it to 50% and it would feel 1-to-1 for that, but every other value wouldn't make any sense. So again, if you want to improve the most, I'd use 0%. Anyways, I believe that is it for the video. If you guys decide to try these settings, just let me know how it goes, and if you have any questions, I'll be responding to all the comments on this video. I know these settings definitely improved my consistency, and the great thing about them is they train you to scale your aim regardless of the FOV. So whenever I pick up the sniper, I feel I can use it pretty well despite almost never sniping. And the semi-autos, which I don't use that much, even with it 3 times, feel exactly the same as hip firing. So yeah, that's the setting. Again, shout out to MP Control Ward for his clips. The guy is absolutely insane, and if you're into Call of Duty or just satisfying aim, definitely give him a look. That'll be it for the video. If you found it helpful, a like would be awesome, and if you enjoy improving at games, it's something I really love sharing on YouTube, so a sub might go a long way. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. Peace.